UFC Fight Night Shanghai just ended, and I'm going to be giving you guys my breakdown, my recap of this card, my initial reactions of this card. Johnny Walker gets a round 2 KO over Zhang Mingyang, massive upset in China. Crazy card, solid card in Shanghai. Every time they seem to go to China, it's always a good card. This one was no different. We're going to get into all the details. Before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's start it off with the early prelim opener of Iran Satibaldi versus DR Nurgazay was the first fight on this card, and it was a good fight. It was a good scrap. DR Nurgazay couldn't pick him. He's got that weird eye tick he constantly does. He constantly rubs his eye. Don't know if it's because he was on PEDs or whatever it is, but he constantly rubs his eye while he fights, like every 2 seconds. It's terrible. It's terrible to watch. Iran Satibaldi, he wasn't doing anything initially, and then about a minute or two in, he lands a solid right hand down the pipe. His first shot drops DR and then gets on top of him, almost has a Kimura, then lets go of the Kimura, hops on top into full guard of DR Nurgazay and wraps up an Ezekiel choke and pulls off an Ezekiel choke in the first fight of the night. Insane. At light heavyweight as well, an Ezekiel choke. The last time we saw that was, I believe, Volkov versus, was it Tai Tuivasa? Was it Volkov versus Tuivasa? I think that's the last time we saw an Ezekiel choke. This is like one of 4 or 5 that's ever happened in the UFC, and Iran Satibaldi pulls it off against DR Nurgazay. Definitely deserves a bonus. Solid performance by Iran. Really nice submission. And yeah, man, he's solid. He was at heavyweight, moved down to light heavyweight. Now he's at his regular natural weight class, and he looks good, man. So good win by Iran Satibaldi. Impressive finish to start off the night. Then we moved on to the next fight, Zhao Long versus Su Young-Yu. I picked Su Young-Yu because I thought he'd have the grappling upside, but we actually didn't see much grappling in this fight. We saw a lot of clinching, a lot of tie clinching, which was kind of awkward, kind of boring in moments, but Su Young-Yu kind of just outstruck Zhao Long round 1, round 2, just kind of tit for tat. Zhao Long was loading up on his punches. He's way more explosive than Su Young-Yu, but Su Young was just catching Zhao Long with clean, crisp shots, when Zhao Long would blitz in. Su Young-Yu would land a nice counter or a nice overhand left or whatever the case may be. He was landing nice counters and nice pit. He was picking his shots very nicely. So round 1, round 2, I gave to Su Young-Yu, and then round 3 was a scrap. Zhao Long brought it. He was throwing hands like crazy, big looping shots, big knees, lots of elbows at the end of round 3. I think Zhao Long won round 3, just activity, ferocity, how he was bringing it, the intent of his shots, the flurry of elbows he landed at the end of round 3. But I do think Su Young-Yu won the fight just based off of round 1 and round 2. So he got a unanimous decision. Zhao Long did get more strikes in, but I think Su Young-Yu was landing the cleaner strikes, at least in round 1 and round 2. So unanimous decision for Su Young-Yu. He's a bit of a decision merchant, but he is good. He is good, and he showed that he can actually strike. So we'll see. Maybe Su Young-Yu can develop some finishing instincts, but good win by Su Young-Yu. We move on to the next fight, Yiza versus Weston Wilson. Obviously, I picked Yiza. Weston Wilson was a target in there, didn't land a single significant strike, did not put his right hand next to his head. It was constantly here, constantly hovering at his shoulder. I was yelling at my TV at like 2 or 3 a.m., put your hand next to your head, and he wouldn't do it. Yiza connected with a big left, another big left, he went like 3 or 4 big lefts in a row, taking little breaks in between, and Weston Wilson would not make the adjustment of just moving his hand up next to his head. So he does not deserve to be in the UFC. He didn't deserve to be in the UFC in the first place. Cut Weston Wilson. He got brutally slept by Yiza by a big left hand, drops him, and then he finishes it with a nice uppercut. Weston Wilson was completely out cold. Give Yiza a performance bonus of the night. Weston Wilson is like a free performance bonus of the night for anybody, but he shouldn't be in the UFC. Didn't land a single significant strike. Didn't do anything of matter. He just got destroyed within 30 seconds. Yiza showed that he was meant to be a minus 1,200 favorite. So good win by Yiza, I guess, but Weston Wilson's not UFC level, not UFC caliber. Give Yiza a performance bonus anyway, though. We move on to the next fight, Michel Pereira versus Kyle Dawkins. Oh my God, I was crashing out. Michel Pereira is an absolute bum. An absolute bum. Cut him immediately. Cut him immediately. There's so many people you can cut on this fight card immediately. Immediately. I can name at least 3 or 4. We're not going to get into that right now, but Michel Pereira absolutely shits the bed, gets KO'd by Kyle Dawkins in the first round in like 40 seconds. Insane work by Michel Pereira. He comes out. I'm thinking this is a bigger guy. This should be easy. I picked Michel Pereira, okay? Because I'm thinking Kyle Dawkins has been out in other regionals. He's fighting bums, okay? He hasn't been in the UFC for a while, and when he left the UFC, he went on a 2 KO loss streak, wasn't looking good, and Michel Pereira beats these bums. Kyle Dawkins, even though, credit to him for winning this fight, he is a bum. But Michel Pereira has a crazy downfall right now. It just doesn't make any sense. Cut him. Cut him. He looks terrible. His chin is bad. He looks like he's unsure of what he's doing in there. Kyle Dawkins lands a nice left hook over the top, drops Michel Pereira bad, and then follows it up with big ground and pound, big elbows early on in the fight, too. Early on in the fight, nothing else happened. Kyle Dawkins tried to get a takedown. It was stuffed by Michel. That was about it. And then Kyle landed a big overhand left, dropped him, finished him on the ground. Michel Pereira is a bum. He's a bum. He's a bigger bum than Kyle Dawkins. Good win by Kyle Dawkins. He's back in the UFC with a win. Crazy. And he wanted to get a performance bonus tonight. Give it to him, man. Give it to him. He deserves it. Whatever. Kyle Dawkins KO in the big 2025 against Michel Pereira. Yeah, if that's happening to me, I'm just retiring. If I'm Michel Pereira, just retire, man. Just retire. We move on to the next fight, though. Rong Zhu versus Austin Hubbard. Fun scrap. Austin Hubbard's basically just a punching bag, I'm going to be honest. But Rong Zhu is also a very clean striker. Outboxes Austin Hubbard for 3 rounds, stuffs his takedowns. He only got taken down twice. I think he stuffed like 8 or 9 takedowns. Really good defense by Rong Zhu and really good offense as well. He had really fast 1-2 down the pipe, nice uppercuts. He was mixing up his strikes really, really well throughout the 3 rounds and just pieced up Austin Hubbard, cracked him a lot. But Austin Hubbard's chin is like, I don't know what it's made of. It's made of granite. It's made of granite, or Rong Zhu has pillow hands, but I don't think that's the case. I think Austin Hubbard is just super, super durable. He's just a human punching bag. That's basically it. Cut Austin Hubbard. Good win by Rong Zhu, though. Gets it done in China by decision. Pieces up Austin Hubbard for 3 rounds. We move on to the next fight. Charles Johnson versus Loner Kavanagh. How many freaking times is Charles Johnson going to get away with this shit? How many times now? How many times is he going to fraud check one of our favorite prospects, man? I wanted Loner Kavanagh to win, man. I had Loner Kavanagh. I was pretty confident as well. I thought he would be good from the outside, blitz in, get his strikes off, stay at distance, stay safe. He's got really good defense usually. But Charles Johnson, man, his cardio he weaponizes his cardio very well. He just knows how to push you one step further than you can push. And he chins Loner Kavanagh. In round 2, end of round 2, he chins him brutally. Brutally chins him, puts Loner Kavanagh to sleep. Literally worse than the oh my goodness, I was about to say the Charles Johnson. Worse than Charles Johnson KOing Joshua Van. This was worse. Loner Kavanagh threw a big right hook and then did not bring his left hand up to protect, did not bring his guard up. You could see his defense was lacking at the end of round 2. He was getting tired. You could see Charles Johnson was getting to him. And you can hear Johnson's corner yelling, push the pace, he's tired, break him, he's tired. And I was like, no, this is not happening again. And sure enough, it happens again. Loner Kavanagh throws the right hand, keeps his left hand down. Charles Johnson comes over the top with a big right hand, cracks Loner Kavanagh right on the chin where he had no defense. His hand wasn't even up. Gets dropped, put to sleep brutally by Charles Johnson. Give him a performance bonus. You got your 4 performance bonuses of the night done right there. I mean, Charles Johnson chins the shit out of Loner Kavanagh. Now, I think this is a good sign for Kavanagh. I think this is actually a good sign because we saw what happened once Joshua Van got chinned by Charles Johnson. He went on an insane streak, and he hasn't lost since, and now he's number 1 contender in the world. I think we have ourselves a future champion, Loner Kavanagh, and Charles Johnson is just the prospect killer, man. Good win by Charles Johnson. Unfortunate that Loner had to lose that way, but it happens, man. Charles Johnson, lots of experience, good cardio, and he's just very skilled at flyweight. He's a bit of a weight bully. Good win by Charles Johnson, though. Nice KO. We move on to the next fight, Gage Young versus Mashat. I picked Mashat. I thought Mashat was going to be able to just piece him up from the outside and land the bigger shots, drop Gage Young. But this was a really back-and-forth scrap. Gage Young was just able to outdog Mashat, get some takedowns, get on the inside, blitz in, hurt Mashat in moments. And Mashat just kept eye-poking Gage Young. Both these guys kept eye-poking each other. Lots of eye pokes on this card. Honestly, a lot of people had their hands open just going like this, right in the eyes. But Mashat was just pushed up against the fence. Couldn't really do anything. Gage Young got his takedowns when he needed to, landed the bigger shots. It was, somewhat of a boring fight. Good win by Gage Young, though. He gets his first win in the UFC. And I think Mashat is just not really UFC level, unfortunately. So cut him as well, man. There's so many people on this card you can cut. You can open yourself a bunch of room on the roster by cutting like 5 or 6 guys on this card. We move on, though, to the main card. The main card opener, Tyalek Nuraji versus Kiefer Crosby. Man, I feel bad for Kiefer Crosby. Look, I obviously picked Tyalek Nuraji to get a first round finish. I thought he was going to get it done just because of the fact that Kiefer Crosby is old, he's slow, he's susceptible on the ground, and that's kind of what happened. Tylek got a takedown decently early, got some nice ground and pound off, and then he kneed Kiefer Crosby illegally when Kiefer was trying to get up. He kneed him while he had his two knees on the ground, and it was an illegal knee, clear, blatant illegal knee by Tylek Niraji, and Kiefer Crosby could have called it a DQ. He could have got himself a DQ win there and then. Did not decide to do that. The refs didn't give him any time to recover. He was bleeding out of his nose, and Tylek lost 2 points, but it didn't matter because he just put the pace, put all the pace out, put all his energy, laid it all out there, and finished Kiefer Crosby at the end of round one. Well, mid to end point of round one, just laid it out, pushed Kiefer Crosby down up against the fence, landed a big shot, and then landed devastating elbows and ground and pound strikes and finished Kiefer Crosby, man. Good win by Tylek. Illegal knee, kind of frustrating. I feel a little bit bad for Kiefer Crosby, but it is what it is, man. Good win by Tylek Niraji. I think he's only 24, so good first win in the UFC. Obviously, Kiefer Crosby, not UFC level. Cut him. Yeah, cut him. Move on to the next fight. Suma Dordji, Kevin Borjas. Boring fight. I'm going to be honest. Boring fight. Tit for tat fight. Suma Dordji just outpoints Kevin Borjas at range. I chose Kevin Borjas as one of my favorite underdogs of the week, and he decided to not engage with Suma Dordji for the first 2 rounds. Just did not even engage. Didn't do anything. His corner's yelling at him to engage and do something. Break into the pocket, land a big overhand right. When he did crack Suma Dordji, he cracked Suma Dordji, but he just didn't do it at all. 23 significant strikes for Kevin Borjas, man. Not good. No output for Kevin Borjas. Suma Dordji did whatever he wanted. Landed little pitter-patter shots. Nice jabs at range, nice teep kicks at range, nice body kicks at range, head kicks. Like it was all the same thing for 3 rounds straight. Suma Dordji gets a decision in China. Good for him, but boring fight. Terrible move by Kevin Borjas. I thought he was going to bring the volume, bring that dog that he had in his last fight, but he couldn't do that against a lengthier, I guess, better striker in Suma Dordji. So unfortunate for Kevin Borjas, but good win for Suma Dordji. Boring, but good win nonetheless. We move on to the next fight. Sergey Pavlovich, officially a decision machine. Just beat Waldo Cortez Acosta by decision over 3 rounds. Just pieced him up at range, landed the bigger shots, picked his shots wiser, landed some clean uppercuts when they closed the distance, was able to clinch up with Waldo, land some good shots. It was really just one-way traffic for Sergey. Obviously, Waldo did land his own shots, but he just seemed like he wasn't getting anything going. When they did break into a bit of a brawl, Sergey was getting the better of it. He was landing the big overhand right, the big overhand left. Waldo ate them. He's got a good chin. Waldo ate those shots, but I think Sergey Pavlovich isn't putting his all into his shots anymore, and he realized, I'm not unstoppable. I'm not an absolute killer. I can't be round 1 kill or be killed. He wants to win fights. He wants to show his technicality, which... Can you really do that at heavyweight? I guess, but he's got back-to-back decision wins now. It's not the most fun, but good win by Sergey Pavlovich. Outboxes Waldo Cortez Acosta, clinches him up, lands the better shots, hurts Waldo. Almost had him out of there in round 3. Didn't end up pushing the gas, though. When he did have Waldo hurt, he just didn't have urgency to finish him. So I guess good win by Sergey, but I don't know if he's back. You know what I mean? I feel like he's just playing it safe. So good win by Sergey anyway. We move on to the co-main event. Sleeper. Bro, put me to sleep. Absolutely boring fight. Brian Ortega does fuck all for the first 3 rounds. Aljamain Sterling does basically nothing, just jabs Brian Ortega, leg kicks him at distance, and that was it for 3 rounds. 4th round got a bit interested in Brian Ortega, actually put a little bit of gas on. He started being like, oh shit, wait, I actually got to lock in. This is a 5-round main event, man. And he started pushing it a little bit. His coach were yelling at him and stuff. So he started stinging Aljo a little bit, but didn't really do anything. Aljo was kind of just jab, stick, move, like so boring. Like, I want to appreciate the fight. I can appreciate the 5th round. The 5th round was decent. Best round of the fight by far. Brian Ortega was actually trying to finish Aljo. Aljo was trying to finish Brian Ortega. It was a bit of a scrap, and you could see Aljo was tired. He was visibly tired. Brian, that was his best chance to go. Couldn't get anything off, really. Hurt Aljamain Sterling with some shots, but Aljo was able to recover. Got a takedown at the end of that round. Almost subbed Brian, and then got on top and rained down shots for the end of the 5th round. The 5th round was decent, but from 1 to 4, it was like a waste of 20 minutes. I'm going to be honest. It was a slow, boring fight. Aljo gets a decision. I picked Aljo to win this fight by decision. We move on to the main event. Man, Johnny Walker. A big KO by Johnny Walker in the big 2025. In the big 2025, Johnny Walker is back in the win column against an up-and-coming killer in Zhang Mingyang in his home country, of China, in Shanghai. KOs him in the main event. Great win by Johnny Walker. Very close fight. Zhang came out, guns blazing, but Johnny Walker shot a takedown immediately. He shaved off his mustache, went for the Dagestani beard, and shot a takedown immediately. Unfortunately, Zhang stuffed that takedown, pushed him to the ground, got on top. I thought there and then it was over. I thought Zhang was going to rain down elbows. I was like, it's over. It's over. It's probably over. Johnny survived, got back to his feet, landed some shots of his own. Zhang was pushing the pace a little bit, but he kind of already seemed tired at the end of round one. And then going into round two, Zhang Mingyang looked tired. His lip was busted up. His nose was busted up by a couple shots by Johnny Walker. And Johnny Walker was clearly the fresher fighter. And he was landing some nice leg kicks on Zhang. And then he landed a stiff calf kick. And Zhang Mingyang, you could see immediately his leg was given out. He dropped to the canvas. Johnny Walker finished him with big ground and pound. Great win by Johnny Walker. Nice KO. Back in the win column. Honestly, even though I picked Zhang Mingyang and I sprinkled a little bit on Zhang Mingyang, I was still happy to see Johnny Walker win. Johnny Walker winning in 2025 is like, I don't know, man. That's like, I don't even know what to compare that to right now. I don't even know what to compare that to. That's like a nostalgic feeling almost. It's like a nostalgic feeling. Anyway, Johnny Walker KO in 2025. Good win by him, man. Back in the win column. Johnny Walker was emotional. Walter Walker was emotional. It was good to see. Johnny Walker was doing the worm at the end. It was fun to see. Unfortunate for Zhang Mingyang. We thought we had ourselves a light heavyweight prospect, but he got fraud checked by Johnny Walker in 2025, boys. Sad to see, but good win by Johnny Walker. That is the entire card recap and breakdown. Overall, I thought this was a solid card. Some stinker fights. Co-main was kind of stinky. Sumadwarji, Borjas was kind of stinky. Like, there was some stinky fights, but there was a decent amount of finishes. I think clear bonuses for some of these guys. They better give out a bonus to who I think they're going to give bonuses out to. They better. I haven't checked yet, but that's the entire video, boys. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop it down in the comments what you guys think about Johnny Walker getting a KO over Zhang Mingyang, and I will catch you boys in the next one. See you.